the preacher and the lady with cupcakes, so that's not a great position to be in. Like Kendra said, my name's Ann Haley. And though I'm not going to be able to claim it for too much longer, I am a young Arkansan. I speak to you today as a proud member of the LGBTQ community who's proud to call Arkansas my home. Growing up here in Little Rock, I was blessed to come from a loving and supportive family that has lived in Arkansas for 6 generations. Sitting in a pew on Sundays with my family in the same church where my mom was baptized and my parents were married, I was taught to love thy neighbor, to show compassion and kindness at all times, and to serve others willingly. And I never doubted my place in this tight-knit community until I came out in high school. After coming out, like too many of my LGBTQ peers, I struggled to understand how so many of the same people that taught me lessons of looking out for your neighbor and of kindness would turn their back on me simply for accepting who I was. So I saw graduating high school as my chance to escape this hurtful atmosphere, which I did for a time, during college and through professional activities. But unlike many others who decided to leave this state for more welcoming pastures, I decided to come back to the natural beauty of Arkansas because it is my home. Because like so many people in my generation, I had a burning passion to make my community a better and a more inclusive place for everyone to live. I feel it's my duty to give back to my community, which is why I'm back here pursuing my master's degree in public service. Just like many of you, I am a product of this state's investment in my education and development. My strong network of clergy, teachers, neighbors, and coaches invested significant time and resources to help me reach my full potential. And like so many others in my generation, I have an immense amount of talent to offer this state. And after I graduate, I have to decide where I want to put down roots and continue making contributions to society.
Stay here, Rock.
But as the legislature continues to pass appalling legislation that attacks the LGBTQ community by denying protections and encouraging discrimination, I ask myself, why should I stay? I know I'm not alone in my support of LGBTQ rights. The Pew Research Center has found that an overwhelming majority of my generation supports the rights of the LGBT community. But just as many of my straight friends who have the same capacity and talent to make valuable contributions to the future of Arkansas don't want to live and raise a family in an atmosphere that promotes a culture of hatred and discrimination thinly veiled as religious liberty. HB 1228 sends a clear message to me and my community, which includes LGBT teens who are 4 times more likely to attempt suicide as their straight peers, as well as fellow students, teachers, doctors, and taxpayers, that we are not wanted here. HB 1228 is short-sighted and detrimental to the future of our state. What will become of the future of Arkansas if the young people in which the state has invested so much continue to leave because they don't want to live, work, and raise families in an atmosphere of injustice, discrimination, and hatred? By driving away people like me and the invaluable force of my generation, our state's investment in the education of so many young people is being wasted. We all know that this bill is not about religious freedom. HB 1228 is about making discrimination and bullying the official policy of this state. Religious freedom is already protected federally and by the existing laws of this state. My ability to live and work and raise a family in the place I call home is not a threat to anyone's religious liberty. This same argument of religious liberty was used to perpetuate discrimination and segregation in a shameful chapter in our state's and nation's history not that long ago. In fact, in the same lifetime as many of the elected officials that are passing these laws. As we continue in our struggle to repair the great damage of these discriminatory laws to the fabric of our society, decades later, I ask, have we learned nothing from our past? I do know this. My generation will eventually overturn these laws.
Yes.
However, we and the generations to follow us will also be the ones left to deal with the repercussions of the damage created by such legislation.
Yes.
Arkansas has already passed a law usurping the rights of municipalities to extend LGBT Arkansans and their families protection from harassment and discrimination. House Bill 1228 goes even further to enshrine discrimination into law.
Yeah.
Arkansas is better than this. The Arkansas I know, where I grew up, is one that values compassion, friendship, and standing up for your neighbors. The Arkansas I love is one that cares about each and every citizen, no matter who they are or whom they love.
That's right. That's right.
The Arkansas I know is a great place to raise a family or start a business. But all this stands to be undermined by hateful, misguided, and bigoted legislation. We're all here today because we want to tell Governor Hutchinson, you have a responsibility to the state and the oath that you swore to protect and defend the law to veto this bill.
Yes.
I ask you, will your legacy as governor be one of standing on the right side of history, or one of just another Arkansas lawmaker that kept our state from moving forward? We're here today because we want our voices to be heard, to make sure the LGBTQ community and its allies are not silenced. But I got a question for you. How many of y'all voted in the last election? How many more of your neighbors do you know that didn't? Right? In last year's election, voter turnout in Arkansas was barely 50%. Even worse, voter turnout for 18 to 29-year-olds was only 20%. All of these asinine laws coming out of the building behind me that have the rest of the country looking at Arkansas like we've lost our damn minds. This is what happens when people don't vote, especially in midterm elections. Local elections matter. When we stay home on election day because we're busy, because we don't think we have time, or we think our vote doesn't matter, these folks get elected.
Yeah.
So we can scream at the top of our lungs, we can blow up social media all we want, but Facebook rants and tweets are not enough. We have to get out from behind our computers and get to the ballot box. It is not just our right, it is our duty to get informed and put our vote where our mouth is. You want to do even more? Join the Stonewall Democrats of Arkansas. Get involved in the election process. Knock on doors. Make calls. Wave signs.
Yeah.
They say the price of liberty is eternal vigilance. And that means that no matter what, we cannot afford to wait until something like HB 1228 motivates us to stand up and speak out. We have to prevent it from happening in the first place by showing up at the polls to vote every single chance we get, or nothing is ever going to change.
Right.
I'm here today because I'm a proud young gay woman, and I am Arkansas. You are here today, whether you're gay, straight, black, white, poor, rich, and you are Arkansas.
Yeah.
And when we use our voices together, when we are stronger, when we are united, we can and we shall overcome.
Yeah.
Because we are Arkansas. We are Arkansas!